You know, in the world of global trade, we get obsessed with all the numbers, right? Product, price, logistics, we have spreadsheets for everything. But what if the biggest threat to your international success, the thing that could sink the whole ship, isn't on a spreadsheet at all? Well, today, we're diving into exactly that, the critical and often invisible role that language and culture play in making or breaking a global deal. And this quote, it just nails it. It gets right to the heart of what we're talking about. When you're doing business internationally, you're never just selling a thing. You're trying to build a relationship. And if you can't communicate, if you can't connect on that human level, that relationship and your deal is pretty much dead on arrival. So, let's get into this unseen deal breaker. Now, for giant corporations, you know, the ones with entire departments for this stuff, it's a known challenge. But for small and medium-sized businesses, that's where the risk is just massive. And honestly, it's often completely overlooked. And look, this isn't just about being polite or learning how to say hello in another language. We're talking about a core business skill here. Misreading the cultural room can create mistrust, confusion, and it can absolutely torpedo your global ambitions. It's a deeply human problem that, guess what, requires a deeply human solution. Okay, to really get a handle on this risk, we need to dissect how these failures actually happen. It's almost never one big, dramatic blow-up. Nope. It's usually a series of small, totally preventable misunderstandings that just snowball into disaster. Seriously, think about it. Have you ever had one of those deals where everything was going great, the emails were positive, the momentum was there, and then just crickets? Radio silence. There's a really, really good chance that you accidentally tripped an unseen cultural wire and you probably never even knew what hit you.
So let's look at some of the usual suspects. A direct, get-to-the-point negotiation style that works great in North America? That can come off as super aggressive and rude in many Asian cultures. Or how about this? Focusing only on the transaction, the nuts and bolts of the deal, can signal that you don't care about the long-term relationship, which is an absolute deal-breaker in so many parts of the world. Even just your communication style, direct versus indirect, can cause major friction.
And oh, the pitfalls go way deeper. Let's talk marketing. When Pepsi launched in China, their slogan, "Come alive with the Pepsi generation," was reportedly translated as, "Pepsi brings your ancestors back from the grave." Yeah, not quite the vibe they were going for. Then you've got contracts. In some cultures, a signed contract is the final word. In others, it's just the starting point for the real negotiation. These are not minor details, people. They are fundamental. So what's the big idea connecting all of this? Well, a lot of it boils down to one of the most important concepts in cross-cultural communication, the divide between high-context and low-context cultures. Get your head around this is a total game changer. All right, so in high-context cultures, the message is kind of layered. A ton of the meaning is found in shared history, in nonverbal cues, in the relationship between the people talking. It's not just about what is said, but how it's said, who is saying it, and maybe most importantly, what's left unsaid. Trust here is the absolute bedrock of everything.
Then you have the other end of the spectrum, low-context cultures. Here, good communication is all about being precise, simple, and crystal clear. The message is meant to be understood at face value. If you repeat something, it's just for clarity. The goal is to be as explicit as possible so there's zero room for misunderstanding.
And this slide just lays out the potential for a train wreck perfectly. A low-context person trying to just get to the point can seem incredibly rude to a high-context partner. And that high-context partner, who implies meaning instead of spelling it out, can seem vague or even dishonest to the low-context person. This fundamental mismatch, this is where so many deals go to die. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. This little guide here shows you exactly how these styles play out across the globe. You see the pattern, right? In the Middle East, Latin America, and a lot of Asia, it's all about the relationship first. But in North America and Western Europe, the transaction and the contract often come first. Just knowing where your partner falls on this spectrum gives you a massive strategic advantage. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we've seen the risks, but just being aware of it isn't enough, right? Let's move from awareness to action. We're going to build your practical toolkit for turning this cultural intelligence into a real competitive edge. Forget the abstract stuff. Here are 4 concrete, powerful moves you can make right now. And these aren't just, nice-to-have suggestions. These are essential strategies for any small or medium-sized business that is serious about winning on the global stage. Let's start with a big one, transcreation. And listen, this is not translation. Translation just changes the words. Transcreation, it changes the impact. It takes your marketing message and completely adapts it, thinking about everything from what colors mean to what's funny to local values. The goal is to make it feel totally native and resonant, not foreign and clunky. This here shows the difference so clearly. Literal translation just asks, what does it say? Transcreation asks, how does it make them feel? Brands that just translate their slogans often fail in the most spectacular ways, but the brands that invest in transcreation, they're the ones that build a genuine connection that actually drives business.
And that leads us to what is, without a doubt, the most powerful solution of all. Look, tools are great. Training helps, but absolutely nothing replaces having a trusted local partner on the ground. This person isn't just a salesperson. They are your cultural interpreter, your relationship builder, your early warning system. They are, quite literally, your cultural bridge to success.
And here is a perfect example of something your cultural bridge will just get instinctively, the concept of face. In many cultures, preserving public dignity is everything. If you publicly embarrass a partner, even by accident, you can destroy that relationship forever. Learning how to communicate in a way that always lets your counterpart save face isn't just a skill, it's non-negotiable.
All right, let's bring this all home. Let's talk about what all this really means for your business, for your strategy, and for your actual bottom line. If you walk away with just one thing from all this, please let it be this. Cultural intelligence is not a soft skill. It's a hard, strategic, economic asset. Your ability to navigate these cultural differences is every bit as important as your pricing strategy or your supply chain. It is a deal-making or deal-breaking factor. Period.
And really, this isn't just about avoiding failure. It's about actively creating success. The businesses that get this right don't just survive on the world stage, they thrive. They build these deep trust-based partnerships that lead to more resilience, more innovation, and way more profit over the long haul.
We'll end on this thought, because it just captures the entire idea so perfectly. Being fluent in a language is a tool, and that's good. But empathy, truly understanding another person's cultural world, that is the ultimate key to unlocking global success. It really is everything.